Hey, how you doing today? I am Taquila Coleman. In today's video, I'm going to answer one of our God ordained spouse questions she sent in via our God ordained marriage website. So let's jump into her question. She said, I know we're supposed to let our spouses go, and I've done that. I pray every day and night over him. So because I do this, how do I not think about him or grow closer to him? The more I pray, the closer I get to him and miss him dearly. Also, if I think about him a lot, miss him, or sometimes play in my head how he will reach out, do that mean I have not released him to God? Thank you, dear. Okay. So thank you for sending in your question. So number one, you're going to think about your God ordained spouse, okay, even in a divine separation, right? God's not looking for us to, try to make ourselves forget about our God ordained spouses, okay? That's not the case. God, He just put us in a divine separation because, there's some correction He has to do on both, parts, on both individuals, behalf. He's protecting you from the enemy, okay, that is in operation through your prodigal. And, he got your prodigal up under God's wrath, so he doesn't want that wrath to hit you. Now, I say all that to say, while you're in this divine separation, God's not looking for you to try to forget all about your spouse. God's not going to allow you to forget about your spouse. So even when you're praying over your spouse, that's going to, bring about feelings. It's going to remind you of your spouse. You're going to, from time to time, you might get emotional, right? But that is okay. In those moments, God is looking for you to find ways on how you can, process your emotion, how you can, be in control of your own emotions. Okay. I always give the advice, if you are missing your spouse, get out a notebook and write your spouse a letter in the notebook. Journal your thoughts, okay, so that you can get those emotions out. Now they're on the paper, and it's up to you, to decide if you want to keep this notebook, this journal for your spouse and give it to them whenever, God send them back, or you could just ball it up and throw it away, because maybe you just need it, just to get the thoughts out, right? So God's not looking for us to stop thinking about our spouses. We're going to think about them every single day. You're going to think about them in the morning. You might think about your spouse, right before you go to bed. That's normal. The thing is, when we talk about releasing our spouse to God, you haven't released your spouse to God whenever you think about your spouse and now you're putting your life on hold, right? Whenever you start, whenever you find yourself obsessing over this God ordained love story, obsessing over marriage, that means you haven't released your spouse or marriage to God, okay? Because now it has caused you to move into a space of idolatry, and now I am obsessing over my spouse and marriage, right? So, God, He wants us to think about our spouse, but after you think about your spouse, get up and continue to move your life. After you think about your spouse, go ahead and get in purpose, start your business, write your book, right? That's what God is calling for us to do, okay? Um, so let me read over your question. And like I said, it's normal for you to miss your spouse. It's normal, okay, for you to miss your spouse. That's part of the process. Now, you went on to say how sometimes it plays in your head how your spouse will reach out to you. Now, here's the thing, okay? You want to release that part to God, okay? Don't try to figure out the how. Your assignment, the God ordained believing spouse, our job is to pray for our God ordained spouse. After prayer, now we do whatever God is telling us to do, okay? So we release the how to God, because even though you're wondering, you're trying to figure out how He's going to reach out. Here's another, scenario. You might be out at the grocery store and God could have your spouse right there at that same grocery store. And now the two of you paths cross, right? He might have the two of you, run into one another, or you could be at an event and your spouse is at that event, right? You just never know how God is going to, bring this love story back around full circle. Okay. So leave the how up to God. Again, when you haven't released your love story to God, whenever you find yourself obsessing over this love story, Whenever you find yourself going in the kitchen and you constantly checking and looking or even snooping, right? Those are signs, that you still trying to control or even guide or direct this love story versus releasing it to God. Okay. Because when I say the word release, to think about trust. Okay. God is looking for us to trust him with this love story. This is his love story. So he knows exactly how to cook this love story up. Okay. But he's looking for the God ordained believing spouses to walk by faith and not by sight. He's looking for us to trust in him and believe that he know what he's doing and he have our best interests at heart. And he's bringing correction where correction is needed. He's changing the hearts concerning you, and he's going to restore this God ordained love story in his timing. Okay, so that is my advice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a positive comment. I'll talk to you all real soon. Take care.